Welcome back, guys. We are back with the Feepin' Pod episode number 6, 7. And a quick recap for today's episode. Episode we did earlier, I think episode 3 or 4, we spoke about obsession and the backrooms. And we have been experiencing quite some backlash on our opinions on the backrooms, and we just wanted to address that. And yeah, just do a quick recap on that. Apparently saying the backrooms wasn't good broke the internet.
Yeah. We've discovered
And yeah,
a
we'll
lot
be
of backrooms glazers.
Yeah, backrooms. But anyways, we'll be getting into that a bit later in the episode. But for now, our episode is about Toy Story 5, which we went and watched today. And first off, we're going to discuss, what did you think when the trailers and / the news of Toy Story 5 dropped? What were your initial thoughts? Were you excited? Were you worried?
Well, when they first announced that there was going to be another Toy Story 5, I actually couldn't believe it, because who the heck makes 5 movies
Exactly.
from a franchise like that? And where do you even go in terms of a storyline after 3 movies? Not even 3, 4 movies.
We also thought that about the 4th movie when it came out. We thought, why are they making another one?
True.
And then it was very good. But, yes, this one, it felt like even harder than 4.
It was just really hard to kind of process, because it's like, that's crazy.
There's things like franchise fatigue as
Yes.
well. Ruining the other endings. Because they had some perfect endings
Yeah.
from 3 to 4. So,
And 4, we thought 4 was it, with the way they ended it with Buzz and Woody separating. So
yeah.
bit surprising to see 5.
Felt like a cash grab. Felt like Disney trying to reel us in with nostalgia. And yeah. Overall, fake pig. Zaya featured in the movie, by the way. He had a casting role. But yeah. What did you think when it came out?
After watching it today, I was actually very surprised. And I was actually very satisfied.
Yeah.
Because hats off to Pixar.
Disney
Pixar.
Yeah.
Hats off to them. Because that is a hard thing to do, especially in this day and age, to make a 5th Toy Story movie and still somehow have its own sort of storyline that doesn't repeat. I mean, I guess it kind of does repeat the rest, but it's always going to be about toys and abandonment, and then they come back and whatever. But it did it differently, and they actually managed to make it work with technology.
Yeah. That was something that I was worried about, was the whole bringing in the new stuff, new gen things, you know. When movies often do that, they try to like mix the old with the new, like the new Scary Movie that came out. They try to bring in the new gen, and then movies like Happy Gilmore too, they try to bring in
Lucas's favourite movie.
Yeah, Lucas's favorite movie. It was okay, but obviously the first one was better. They just tried to new genify it, and it wasn't popping. But the thing that I didn't even want to go watch Toy Story 5. That's how low of a standard I had for it, and that's why I was also pleased with the movie. Because it was good, and I was expecting it to be dumb, slop,
Exactly.
and other things also, but yeah, it surprised me, and it was good. What much else can I say?
Except you're welcome.
So overall, what would you rate the movie? Now seeing it?
After watching it, my opinion has changed. I will say they didn't do much promotion and trailer wise,
Yeah.
so I didn't have much hype for it because they only really showed just one trailer, and then that was it.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I went because it was cool, and I rate it a 8 out of 10 because obviously most of the Toy Story movies are just 10 out of 10 in general. And you wouldn't expect a fourth or a fifth movie to get anywhere above 6 or 6, 7. But they somehow managed to still make it a great story on its own, especially around Jesse. No spoilers. And I thought that was cool because it worked.
I rated it a 7 to 8 also. Thought it was really good. Obviously surprised us. It was funny. It's a good story as well. It wasn't like crazy story, something completely new, I guess. But it added new aspects of the technology thing and so on and so forth. The characters, yeah, good characters. And yeah, just good story, I think. And yeah, so that's why I rated it 7 to 8 out of 10. I enjoyed my experience as well the whole time I was there. Unlike some other movies that we've seen recently, and I'm just gonna dive straight into it. The backrooms. You guys are acting like the backrooms was
Cinema.
absolute cinema. I see people saying 1,000 out of 10 or 11 out of 10, 10 out of 10.
That's crazy.
Writing paragraphs about how good this movie is as if it's
He was only 20 years old. He was only 20. The themes.
acting as if like it's hard to comprehend even though it's like so easy and it's just boring. And it's like just because it has themes that are good in your eyes doesn't mean that they portrayed them well, which they didn't. They made it boring. I haven't even played the Backrooms game, I don't think. Maybe once in the past that I can't remember about. I don't know any of the lore, of the other lore that people
they're
refer
all gonna
to.
hate. They're gonna hate that.
No.
You don't know because you didn't play the game. You don't know.
And then they're also gonna say, if I didn't say that
Oh, you just expect it to be like the Roblox game and the lore and this.
from a standalone film, and I said it heaps of times in the comments, as a film on its own, it sucked from a general view. Not knowing anything else about it. It sucked. The metaphors weren't even that intricate or amazing, and they weren't hard to comprehend. It was just boring, longer than it should be. And it was only like 1:50, but it felt like 3 to 4 hours worth of film. And yeah, you guys are just glazing. I've had paragraphs of people saying, "Oh, it's amazing! Oh, Backrooms!" But yeah, I hated it. I stand on 3 out of 10. And I watched it again just to see if I was missing something. And I went back to 3 out of 10. Yeah, movie sucked. I also think that Toy Story 5 was a way better movie than The Backrooms.
Yeah.
And no one can convince me otherwise. The Backrooms wasn't hard to understand. The themes in Toy Story were shown better than the themes in
Mind
The
you,
Backrooms.
that was its 5th movie of the franchise.
5th movie, and yeah, they portrayed it better. It was interesting, and a lot of animations nowadays aren't interesting. The themes are gay, or just literally gay,
I
and
love that.
woke, whatever, this and that. And it's just a bunch of nobody wants to hear it. But
Actually, yeah, that's what I was happy about Toy Story. I'll say this really quick. It wasn't overly woke or woke at all.
yeah.
The kids weren't secretly gay or anything like that.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was refreshing. They're just normal
And
kids.
the themes were valid for today, for it was more relevant to us, to society, rather than the backrooms just being some concept that's like so hard to think of that doesn't relate to the real
So
world whatsoever.
psychological.
So amazing. You gotta have high IQ to understand.
You have to know the law, otherwise you won't
And
know.
it shows themes of depression and
Yeah, and it's like, but those are like,
themes of identity and understanding who you are and being frustrated and angry in this world. It was the backroom sucks, and no one could ever convince me otherwise. You're not high IQ for liking it. You're more likely laughing.
Backrooms would have been better if it was from the scientist point of view, like the secret project, and the scientists, they're trying to work out what the backrooms is.
Yeah, but they're trying to do the secret themes and the cool thing, psychological horror, even though psychologically, like, no one cared. The thing about the backrooms is people were hyping it up before the movie, saying like, by the time we get out, there's those memes where it's like, when you get out and look at the cinema and it looks weird. I was expecting to come out of the theater and like actually feeling psychologically scared and like second guessing myself when I see things like, obviously I know it's not the backrooms, but you know, the memes saying that stuff. You seen those,
Yeah.
where it's like, when you go out there. I wish I felt that sort of effect, but psychologically I did not care at all, because it was slop. Movie was slop.
You know, I'll say this. I will say this. When Caleb was saying, bro, we should watch Backrooms, I said, I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty boring.
Yeah.
Because when I watched all the different trailers, I noticed that 90% of the trailers were scenes of the characters walking around the backrooms and just looking at furniture.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, that's pretty concerning, because that kind of tells me that's most of the footage they have. And that tells me we're in for a long ride of people walking around looking at objects for half the movie, which is what happened. And I literally told him, I said, are you sure this is going to be a great movie? Because I have a feeling.
Another thing I wanted to add was the comment section saying blasphemous things like the Backrooms was a top 5 movie experience or a top 5 movie of all time. And I thought that was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Glaze, LARP, everything of that nature. It was honestly awful takes. And I'm going to go and say that the Backrooms wasn't even a top 5 movie this year. And what I'll say is Project Hail Mary, way better movie. Michael Jackson was a better movie. Obsession was a better movie, similar movie as well. It was a horror movie. Toy Story 5 now we're saying is better. And also I would rate, and it's not one of the best movies, but I would rate it on par with the Backrooms, Supergirl. And so I don't think Backrooms is even a top 5 movie of 2026. There you go. And the funny thing about that also is the Backrooms had a way higher budget, millions dollars more budget than Obsession, and somehow Obsession was way better. Which is crazy. And I don't even like the director. But he's a good director, I'll say that much. So yeah, that was for you guys, haters. Anything else you want to add? Because I was kind of waiting for you to chime in the whole time.
No, not really. Well, yeah, actually, I'll chime in. I watched Backrooms, and you would see in one of our first videos in the reels, I actually gave it a higher rating. I gave it like a 6 out of 10. I think.
Yes.
And mind you, that was like, yeah. No, what I'm saying. What was I saying?
You rated it 6.
Mind you, I watched Backrooms, and I originally, as you would see in our other videos, I gave it a 6 out of 10, I think. higher than 3 anyway, because I genuinely thought like, yeah, it was alright.
Mm.
And then after watching Obsession, I realized, yeah, nah. Backrooms
Backrooms sucks.
had a lot of potential that did not. It played it really safe, I reckon.
Too safe, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like a film that has so many ideas and potential.
The ways it could have gone.
Yeah, it didn't tap into as much as Obsession, which is a simple story.
If you were going to make a movie and you were given the Backrooms, and you know what the Backrooms is, everyone knew what the Backrooms was beforehand. Some didn't know all the lore, but everyone had a brief idea of the Backrooms, maybe from TikTok, whatever it is. When you're given that, what you would produce is basically exactly what the movie was. Like, if you were going to play it safe, just do the Backrooms. That's basically what they just did. And that's why it wasn't very exciting. Nothing new happened, no new ideas. Just the same concept that we're all familiar with. And you learn nothing about it. There's no changes to the world. It's just the Backrooms. Anything else you want to add? Because we're kind of at the end.
Nah, I actually don't.
I think that's a good way to end it, guys. Like, follow, comment your hatred. Once again, as usual. We'll see you guys in the comments. And yeah, follow, hit the bell, do whatever. Next week's episode, we'll be talking about another movie and probably Spider-Man. No, that's a month.
Talk about the trailer, I don't know.
Trailer, might talk about
We don't know, let us know.
the future, games coming out, GTA,
Oh, yeah.
things like that. But yeah, you guys will see. You guys don't even watch these videos anyway, so